I understand that feelings can be real inside me, but they're not reality. So learning to just kind of like let those things pass has been real helpful for me. I go by Vanilla Trill. Everyone knows me as Vanilla Trill or White Boy Chris. My real name is Chris Reid. I make dance videos on social media. That's like my main thing. I DJ, I do graphic design, I do work for a few different artists, promotional stuff like that. Growing up, I definitely showed signs of anxiety. I've been seeing therapists and counselors my whole life. But I didn't start getting depressed and suicidal until high school and stuff, and it definitely, not showing up to class will definitely affect your grades. In high school, I actually went to 4 different high schools. 2 of them were private. I was homeschooled at like this special little high school, and then I went to a public school. Senior year was the first time I attempted suicide, and I was in a hospital for 2 weeks, and I missed so many days of school. They were like, technically you can't graduate, you can't do this and that. So I just ended up dropping out. But yeah, that's just kind of how it all started. And I've been to the hospital twice for it. 2 weeks we're at like just a hospital, another 2 weeks we're at a rehab center. There's a lack of knowledge in high school. Like there's not a lot of nonprofits, or there's not a lot of inclusion of that conversation in schools. Like there's not a lot of times that they give kids information on it. There's not a lot of outlets. There's not programs in the school. There's not groups for it. Like they got groups for everything else, but for some reason this one topic, there's no programs that keep the kids in school and keep the kids feeling like they're a part of things. I think that there's more concern about, when it comes to schools, which is, it makes sense. There's more concern about getting in trouble or being liable than making sure like people get the help they need, you know? I've definitely lost friends because they didn't understand what was going on with me. I've definitely had people that are really standoffish with me when I've tried to open up with them, because I don't know if they're afraid or if they don't understand it or what, but they definitely separate themselves from the situation. I used to feel shame, but I don't really anymore, because I'm very aware of how much I've helped people and how much I've been able to open up people's minds and keep people away from making mistakes. I think the #1 thing I usually say to people is you got to find what works for you. Everyone's different. Everyone's mind works different. It's just fact. I'm not a doctor or anything, so I can't tell people like, oh, you need to get on this, or you need to do this or this, or go see this doctor, or do this or that. But everyone has their own process, their own way of dealing with it, their own way of figuring it out, and you got to figure out what that is for you.